Today's guest is Dr. Shruti Shah in India, who runs a non-profit for cancer research in homeopathy as well as a homeopathy cancer clinic. She has written and presented several research papers in international journals and conferences regarding the scope of homeopathy in the treatment of cancer. Recently, Shruti wrote a book called Cracking the Codes of Breast Cancer and Homeopathy, which includes an in-depth study of more than 75 breast cancer remedies and their integration within modern medicine, phytochemistry, and molecular biology. Shruti has treated more than 2,000 cancer patients with homeopathy so far, and her online and offline practice is centered around oncology. You can find out more about Shruti's work and to book a consultation at www.drshrutisha.com. That's DRSHRUTISHAH.com. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to the Homeopathy Hangout, where we discuss all things homeopathy from around the world. And now my mum and your host, Eugenie Kruger.
Hello, homies, and a very warm welcome to Homeopathy Hangout. Today, we get to speak with Dr. Shruti Shah in India. Welcome, Shruti.
Thank you, Eugenie.
It's lovely to have you on today. I always love having the Indian homeopaths on because your practices are so different to what we have here in Australia and actually probably most of the world. You get to see so many people and treat so many conditions that we're not even allowed to treat over here. So I love learning from you. But can you tell us, Shruti, how were you first introduced to homeopathy?
Actually, I was very much interested in medical science and especially how to find solution for different conditions. So I took my admission into pharmacy course and I was studying pharmacology there. But somehow when I was studying pharmacy and pharmacology, I felt this treating humans with this synthetic factory made chemicals very wrong itself. So when I was young, a student, when I was attending college and classes, something was paining me deeply when I learned to study pharmacology, though it is a wonderful science. And tears used to come out from my eyes that what I am doing here, this is not what I want. This cannot give a permanent solution. And in our textbook of pharmacology, which is written by Dr. Satoshkar, on the first page, there is a mention of Dr. Hahnemann in homeopathy. So somehow it appealed me. And I looked into homeopathy literature and I read about Dr. Hahnemann. And then it felt to me that this is what I'm looking for. Here lies my treasure. So after studying 1 year of pharmacy and pharmacology, I switched to homeopathy.
Oh, that's amazing. And how cool that Hahnemann was in a pharmacology textbook. But I guess in India, they look at things a bit more holistically. Hey, you have your Ministry of Ayush that you have over there, and people are more open to natural medicines, I guess. So it makes sense. Now, you have a special interest in cancer, which is wonderful because I feel like there is a pandemic of cancer, especially the last couple of years. It feels like it's just popping up everywhere and it's just getting worse and worse. So it's wonderful that people like you are doing so much work to help patients with cancer. But what made you particularly interested in this field?
There are two answers to this question. One, that somehow I knew as a child that I would be doing cancer research. When you are a child, someone wants to be an astronaut, someone wants to be a doctor or a racer. Somehow, without any thought, I knew that I want to be a cancer researcher. So this was there inbuilt in me. But then I forgot along the course of time because practicing homeopathy is a huge challenge. Mastering it is even a bigger challenge. So I lost my dream and I was very happy with homeopathy and my practice. But one day, one of very close relatives of mine came to me with a complaint that she is having dysphagia and she is not able to gulp the food and liquid well. So I took her to a physician and she was diagnosed to have a malignancy of esophagus. And the doctor told me she has barely 6 months lifespan. So I was very much emotionally attached to her and she was advised to have order of investigations for confirmation and all. Meanwhile, as I was very much interested into homeopathy and I had some genuine interest in cancer. So I used to keep reading that Apis mellifica is for breast cancer, Candidango is for esophageal cancer. So I was thinking if this many medicines, these many remedies are given for cancer with so much authenticity and with precision. Why is it still not available, or why is it not so successful? So I thought, till when the investigations don't come, let me try homeopathy. So I took her case and I gave her Conium. I started the treatment with Conium. This was my first cancer case, and this was first time I used something for cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And to my surprise, within 10 days, she could eat well. She put on 5 kg weight because she was continuously losing weight. It was not very smooth, but every day when I go back to home, she will happily tell me, okay, today I ate 2 bread, today I had a good. So I was very happy. After 15 days, she was really doing good. And then her investigations and everything came positive. Her brother was a medical doctor. So immediately he called her to start the treatment with allopathy, like radiation, chemotherapy and all, because they had no trust in homeopathy. I was doubtful. So she said me goodbye. We walked to the bus station together and I dropped her for the cancer treatment. But what happened, as soon as she started allopathy, right, she lost her voice because of radiation and chemotherapy. I could never talk to her. And within 1 month, she passed away.
Oh.
So I thought she would have really been much better if she would have continued homeopathy.
And better quality of life.
Yeah, and whatever was being offered to her in the name of treatment, like chemotherapy, radiation, I doubted that it helped her or it really damaged her. So I thought, if the current treatment is not so very effective, has lots of side effects, because during 1 month, what I witnessed that she was having side effects. Otherwise, when we departed, she was very healthy. She was putting on weight. She started eating. So there was a happiness, and I was very much emotionally involved with her. So I felt very bad. And within 2 months, one more old client of mine came to me. She had breast cancer, and she requested me that I have taken all the treatment. Even she had to sell off her jewelry and home to get herself treated. And doctors have said there is no hope for me. And can you do something with homeopathy? And I really tried, but I couldn't, because it was so far advanced case with lots of side effects. But these 2 cases happened simultaneously, and she was requesting me that my son's exam is after 3 months, which is very important exam. So can you extend that lifespan for me with homeopathy? So I studied her case, and I found that there is a huge treasure regarding homeopathy treatment for cancer is in our literature, but it is not well documented, it is not well organized, and there is no awareness, no strong work has been done. There has been doctors, there has been legends who have done miraculous and marvelous work regarding cancer treatment, but still it is highly scattered. There is no strong platform where you can stand and speak out, yes, I can help you confidently. And there is a lot of shortage of skill among homeopaths. When cancer therapy is concerned, everybody, we know in early that we have an answer, right? But still, we are not well equipped with the data we are already having. So I was really aggrieved because I lost these 2 patients very painfully, and when I could have helped them. So one fine day, I thought I want to help these cancer patients. I want to bring out the goodness homeopathy is having for cancer patients. So I started a charity clinic and research foundation. And as I had no technical support or no institute background, so I looked up in the sky and asked God, will you be my sponsor?
Oh.
And I started in my clinic itself. I kept the board one fine day that prayas, it's an effort. It's a Sanskrit word, means in an earnest effort. So it was a foundation which named after Prayas, Homeopathy and Cancer Research Foundation. And there was no awareness. So I started it with like a charity setup. I kept a wooden box there, and cancer patients can come to us, take a treatment, and whatsoever amount they want to keep, they can keep there. That way, I started the cancer clinic in my own premise. But as I said, I had no technical support, I had no financial support. So I looked up, and then slowly, I started getting all the support I needed eventually. I cannot say it is a fully fledged, fully bloomed work, but it is a work under process, and slowly things started unfolding themselves. So this way I started this Cancer Foundation and Cancer Clinic. Since 7 years, initially there were different kind of patients, very few patients, they were very skeptically, but right now many doctors have joined us, many people are helping us, and yes, many things are under pipeline. So this way I entered into cancer therapy, and as I brought to you, it is my passion and mission both.
Oh, I love that. Wow. It sounds like the universe definitely brought you to this point. And it's, like I said, so wonderful because it's just growing and growing. And the more answers we can give to people, the more hope and support we can give them for a better outcome for their cancer diagnosis, then, that's the highest calling that we can possibly have to help these people. And like you say, it's interesting so that you say that there is mention of cancer throughout the Materia Medica, but it's not in one place. And we've got a couple of Ramakrishnan's book on cancer is obviously really great. There's a few others as well. I've got one here on tumors and things. So we have got a few books out there, but you've actually written a book called Cracking the Codes of Breast Cancer and Homeopathy. And you've got more than 75 breast cancer remedies in this book. And I can't believe I've only just found out about this now. I can't wait to get my hands on a copy of this. But can you tell our listeners a little bit about this book?
Yeah. See, when I started the Cancer Foundation, what I did, I read everything which was available about cancer treatment in homeopathy. Everything. For 3 years, I did nothing, but I kept looking at the literature because I started treating cancer patients without much skill and with very unorganized and scattered resources I had in the form of therapeutic. So the biggest challenge I faced that there was no strong platform. If a breast cancer patient comes to me, I know Phytoleka is a remedy, I know Asteria rubens is a remedy, but the repertoire is not very well developed. Our Materia Medica is also written in very old terminology. So I needed something, a therapeutic guide which is very strong by itself. So what I did, I wanted to make a protocol so that the doctors like me do not waste lots of time and they have a strong backup as a guide. As well, our Materia Medica is written in very old terminology. It has no integration and advantages of the modern researches. It was lacking there. That is what I felt. So what I did, I started with breast cancer because I am a female and I used to get more breast cancer patients. All other cancers are also in my bucket list. But I started with the breast cancer and I listed all the remedies which are there in the repertoire indicated for breast cancer. Few of them were pain remedies. Then I separated them that few of them are pain remedies, few of them are constitutional, few of them were nosodes, and few of them were actually cancer remedies. Our homeopathy is based on principle that what it causes, it cures. I mean, if a drug is capable to produce cancer, it can cure cancer. So there were remedies which were really carcinogens or had strong therapeutic indications for cancer proper as a pathology. So I took much interest into those remedies and I started studying them in depth from our Materia Medica sources, from provings, and what modern medicine, what is their phytochemistry, what is their molecular biology. And this way I studied almost 75 cancer remedies. So for one remedy, I think I have gone through more than 1,000 pages. And then I integrated everything and prepared my own notes for each remedy. So that when a breast cancer patient comes to me, I'm well equipped with my weapons to combat it. If I give you an example, if a breast cancer patient goes to a modern medicine practitioner, first they will differentiate if it is estrogen positive breast cancer, if it is Herceptin positive breast cancer, or if it is triple negative. And that way the treatment strategy would be defined. Or they will differentiate what kind of, if the patient requires monoclonal antibody, if a patient requires typical adjuvant chemotherapy, or a patient requires anti-estrogen drug. So we couldn't use these advantages. So I started our remedies. There is a remedy called Aristolochia clematitis. So when I studied it, I found that it has lots of estrogen and it is a proven carcinogen. So if it is a carcinogen, if it can produce cancer, it can cure cancer. And it will be better indicated for estrogen positive breast cancer, right?
Okay.
There is a very less known gallium epirine for breast cancer in our repertoire. When
that's the one that's made from cleavers, hey? It's made from cleavers, yeah.
Yes. So when I studied this gallium epirine, I found that it is the alkaloid of gallium epirine are precursors of chemotherapeutic drug doxorubicin.
Okay.
Means there is a strong connection. And when you study the application of gallium epirine, you will find hundreds of research papers stating that gallium epirine has got very strong role in treatment of triple negative type of breast cancer. But we never included this in our materia medica.
It
right?
makes sense because I think gallium is used for lymphatics as well. And of course, there's lots of lymphatics around the breast tissue area. So are you saying that you see what the phytochemical is in that and then go through the medical literature and see what drugs they were using, what are the phytochemicals that they synthesize for the drugs, and that gives you an idea as to how the remedy would work in the body?
Exactly. I think
that's
you have
very cool.
And yes, we have our indications, like it is for coffea group. So there will be lots of pain, there will be lots of sleep due to pain, mental excitement of Rubiaceae family, the redness because Rubiaceae is called Rubiaceae because it produces redness, right? So this way we can differentiate our remedies than before. So this is how I worked on all 75 remedies. And I have found that gallium epirine is anti-cancer remedy. It is already established, not in homeopathy, in general science also. So why not to integrate this data, right? But what the problem this general science, the main stream science has got, that they know that gallium epirine has anti-cancer property. They have proven it on cancer lines, right? But they don't know how to use it. How to have them in bulk, because they do not have this technology called potentization. And they have many anti-cancer agents like gallium epirine, like Aristolochia, Asteria rubens, right? It is proven that starfish have this anti-cancer property as well. But they do not know how to finally differentiate it, how to dispense them, how to make medicines out of it. So what they do, that they make synthetic alkaloid like gallium epirine, but it has disadvantages and it does not have the fine tuning like we homeopaths have, right? And because of our science of potentization, we do not produce any side effects, but still we can fine tune our treatment. They know that answer of cancer therapy lies in preparation of nanoparticles, right? They know that there has to be a DNA genetic medicine. And we already have the answers, right? So if we combine these two work together, I think we'll be better equipped when it comes to treating cancer patients. So this was my aim when I started writing this book. And this is how I have tried to present it. This is how I have done my first attempt. It was co-authored with my mentor and teacher, Dr. Sunirmal Sarkar from Kolkata. But I can tell you, okay, for each drug I have gone through thousands of pages, and then I used to meditate that now how this will happen, how this remedy. So I named it Cracking the Codes of Breast Cancer. And when I read, and then I meditated, one moment the remedy used to speak to me that this is how we work.
I love that. I've actually had a few homeopaths on the show tell me that they meditate on a remedy. Actually, we had Peter Tamanello on about the crystals, and he had these flashes of inspiration. But it is just energy medicine, and these remedies do talk to us if we listen to them, and plants will talk to us as well. And anything in nature, it's all just energy. And if we connect with that energy, you do get insights that you wouldn't otherwise with your logical mind. So that's amazing. I really love the approach that you've taken. And I really love that. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I'm really excited for the possibilities of this. I have a question for you, though. Do you tend to prescribe like something like gallium, for example? Would you do that in a low potency, like a 6X or something, and give that regular? Or do you tend to use higher potencies, or do you just take it case by case?
It varies upon case by case, but most of the time, cancer patients have lowered vitality, lots of drugging. Right. So I prefer LM potency the most, or the liquid potency, so that I can repeat it frequently and still it will be very gentle on the system and fast acting.
Okay. And how many homeopaths do you have at your clinic, or how does your clinic work? Can people just drop in? Do they need to make an appointment? So how does the clinic itself work?
I have 2 assistants and 2 pharmacists at my clinic. And a few of students who regularly come to us to visit. This is what it comprises of staff. And we have online appointment, as well as drop-in patients. It's a mixed, because we see all kind of patients for cancer, like from lower economic class to the online appointments from faraway countries. So it's a mix. So it is organized and it is spontaneous both ways.
Well, that is was my next question for you, because I've actually sadly just this week had 2 emails of clients who have cancer, and it's an area that I kind of stay a little bit away from myself. I treat women and children and, behavioral disorders as my sort of focus, and hormonal balancing for women, especially after they've just given birth and their hormones are out of whack or their cycles are out of whack. But when clients have cancer, I kind of have walked circles around that. I've treated a little bit in the past. Like, obviously, we are not allowed to treat cancer in Australia, but we can treat the client and strengthen their vital force, which obviously, their cancer symptoms will diminish. But I have kind of been referring to homeopaths who I know are experts in the field. So I've sent people to Dr. Farooq Master and a few other homeopaths that I know have lots of experience in this. So I'm so glad to be in contact with you now. And I'm glad that you take people online. So I know that I can refer people to you and they could just see you for a consultation online, and we can easily access the remedies here, which is great. I've got another little client of mine who has had severe issues with her heart. She's only, I think she's about 2 years old now. And Dr. Adil Chimtanawala we've had on the podcast, who's a cardiac expert. And it was wonderful because even though my client's here in Perth, he's been treating her online. He's in India, and then she just tells me what remedies the mum needs for her baby, and I provide the remedies. So it's been wonderful. So you're saying that you're happy to take on new clients around the world?
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing where Zoom has been so great, or online Skype, whatever you use, has been so wonderful to connect people worldwide and be able to access those expertise that you might not necessarily have in your own country. So very excited to be in touch with you. It's wonderful. And you say you've treated over 2,000 cancer patients so far with homeopathy. Can you maybe tell us about some cases, or how long the appointments are, what sort of questions you ask, or what people can expect if they come and see you for an appointment?
See, when we started our foundation, the only lot of patients we got were for palliation. The doctors have said that we cannot help you. There is no hope. And still, family wanted to offer a help or find a way to soothe the suffering. So these patients initially started coming to us for palliation. And they can pass their last stage peacefully and painlessly. So these were the patients I got for initial 2 years. And then the relatives realized, after adding homeopathy to the treatment, though they lost their relatives, there was a genuine difference. There was a palpable difference was made when they started homeopathy, right? The medicines and the work, the efficacy of our science spoke by itself. So this way I started getting more patients of all stages. Like people started coming to us to get rid of the radiation or get side effects of radiation, side effect of chemotherapy. They started coming to us to prevent the recurrence because they started trusting the word of it. It spread with the word of mouth because I was not very technically connected. And the patients which came to us initially were of very lower socio-economic class, right? But they spread the word of mouth that, yeah, this treatment is making a difference. So then we have started getting patients. And after 7 years, the achievement we have received so far that I can say with surety is the prevention of relapse, because I have been keeping a close watch. And patients tell us that we are taking the homeopathy treatment after we got treated with chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery. And since 5 to 7 years, we are under homeopathy treatment, and we are happy that we are cancer-free. But we are sad to inform that the patients who were taking treatment with us, but were not taking treatment of homeopathy, many of them are no more. Right? So it is very sad thing, but as well a positive thing that homeopathy has certainly increased the period of remission, prolonged the period of remission. And after, since last 1 to 2 years, we are getting virgin cancer cases as well. The people who are not willing to go for this harsh treatment like surgery, chemotherapy. And I would say that, yeah, we have a very promising role to offer to them as well. We are seeing very good cases, very good results, even in virgin cancer patients, that it recedes, it gets cured. Still, the percentage is not very high. I would say it is 25 to 30% success ratio when it comes to treat pure cancer patients without any aid of treatment. But yeah, this is not less. We see failures, we see patients dying. To be in cancer therapy, every day you realize that you are helpless. You couldn't help better. You could have been better. So it is a challenge and pain, both as well. But we see success. So it keeps me going on. There is a hope. There is a ray of light that we can certainly make a difference.
Yeah, I often
Did I
think
understood your question well and answered it properly? Or
yes, no, and I often think that if you're specializing in something like cancer, that it must be pretty hard on you as a practitioner as well, dealing with those sorts of cases where not all of them are going to survive. Like with me treating behavioral disorders, at least I know the kiddies you might get in trouble at school or at home or whatever, but at least they're going to live. But with what you're doing, it must be very hard as a practitioner dealing with that, because you're literally working with people's lives. And like you say, it's wonderful when you get the successes, but how do you as a practitioner keep going? Because I'm sure they can get you a little bit down sometimes.
Yeah, it's a daily story of pain and losing, right? Because you kind of get emotionally attached to your patients. They come to you with a hope that you will make a difference. Their relatives come to you with a great hope that you will make a difference. You will keep them alive. But so many times you are helpless. So many times, because sometimes they are very late to approach you.
Exactly.
Sometimes your technical expertise is not sufficient, right? Because we grow. We are not yet the master. I am not yet the master, but I grow. I'm learning. I'm into my learning process. And the science itself is into the learning process.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you know that these therapies are going to harm them, but still they go for a very harsh therapy. So, and then you see them suffering more. Then you see them being more into pain. Right?
It's very hard because they have to make their own health decisions, and you can only lead a horse to water. You can't force it to drink. So you can only give them those options. And at the end of the day, it's their life and their choice. And if they decide to do things that is not going to be good for their health, if they decide to go for, like you said, the harsh therapies, they kind of have to learn that lesson sometime. And unfortunately, people do often leave the homeopathic route as a last resort. So they've already had all the poisonings from, the pharmaceutical medication. They are already, end stage, and then they come to us as a last resort. So any tiny little bit of success you can get from that is actually miraculous.
And it keeps me going. Otherwise, it is, as you said, it is very disappointing. You lose patients. You see them suffer, right?
Absolutely.
You happen to disappoint them. You happen to disappoint them, right? Their relatives.
Yeah.
But the change we make is so miraculous, so rewarding.
It's worth it.
The suffering is worth.
Yeah. Shruti, have you got any final messages that you want to give our audience? And can you also tell people where they can purchase your book? Because I want to know for myself as well, but also I'm sure our listeners want to know where they can get a copy of your book.
I think the message I would like to give is that be open to the natural science. There are many doctors and scientists working for you behind the curtain. They are still not under the limelight, but they have heart, wish, and capacity to offer to make a difference. So be open and do not be judgmental, because we face judgment, I'm sorry to say, as a homeopath, right? So we have wonderful remedies to help at all stages of cancer and other diseases as well. But I'm going to speak about cancer because I mainly deal with it. And my book is published by BJN Publishers of India. And you can contact them online, or their stores they are having a deal with out of India, or you can write an email to me as well. So I can also send a book. If BJN is not available, my office can post it for you.
Oh, amazing. And do you want to give us your email now, or shall I just put it in the show notes for people to find?
Yeah. It is Dr. Dr. Shruti Shah 27@gmail.com.
Excellent. So people can email you directly as well if they want to purchase a copy.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think I mentioned you about my website also, right?
Yes.
So there also they can contact for appointment or purchasing of my book.
Wonderful. So drshrutisha.com. So drshrutishaah.com.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, Shruti. And I'm very excited for the possibilities and, homeopaths that are going to be seeing more and more and more cancer in our clinics. And your book is going to be a wonderful addition to our practices. So thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you. And my greetings to your listeners. It was equally a pleasure for me where I got a platform where I can pour my heart. Thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you, Shruti. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.